there's a lot of sex offenders down there, and as long story short, my sister-in-law got kind of molested, and so I don't do well around those guys. So I kind of just said, hey, I respectfully would, because I wasn't actually contingent on it then. I had seen the
Yeah,
board,
that's
and
true. That
I
was
just said,
before.
no, I'm all right with doing your program.
Okay. And
I'm really not trying to be a knucklehead, man. I'm trying.
U.S. Marshals have just arrested a felony warrant fugitive after they say he attacked 2 West Valley City police officers early today. Police say they have 42-year-old Brent Stevenson in custody. They say the attack happened near 3100 South, 2900 West when officers stopped 2 men riding bicycles. West Valley police say Stevenson punched one officer, then used his bike to knock down the other before taking off. Neither officer was seriously injured.
And we are about to watch the parole rescission hearing for this Utah man. And I wouldn't blame you if you didn't recognize him, and to think that this photo was 2021 and here he is 2025. I mean, I have to guess that one is before gang and incarceration and one is after. And the age difference, really, his arrest age in this picture was 48 years old. So it just goes to show that prison in Utah, I think it does anything but rehabilitate. Now, we're about to watch the rescission hearing. That means that he was originally granted parole. Now, he was granted before we started covering the state of Utah on 7/20/2023, but then he did something to have it rescinded. And we're about to watch that rescind hearing. And this is where they go through the process of saying, no, we granted you parole, but you messed up while in prison. So let's talk about it. I'll unpack it with more details, including all the information of his long record at the end.
This is a rescission hearing for Brent Stevenson, number 74229. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
My name's Scott Manning. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons I'll be conducting. I'm going to be taking testimony from you. If you'd raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. Do you swear that the testimony you provide today will be truthful and accurate?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Did you receive your at least 7 days written notice of the hearing with your blue disclosure packet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does everything in there look accurate? I'm going to go over what's in there, but are there errors that you'd like to discuss before we get going?
The only thing I don't know if I understood it right, but they were saying that they were trying to get me in a program. I was never offered the program.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about, we'll check in on that. Is that okay? Just in a minute?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the purpose of today's hearing is to discuss why your parole date was rescinded. So it looks like June 23, you had a hearing. The board granted a parole of June 18th, 24, contingent on substance use treatment program as is appropriate. We got notice in May 24 that you had not started a program. They talk about, I think, when you're at the county, what happened with that program, and then you didn't get into a program. You didn't tell your case manager. He didn't become aware of the contingency, so you weren't able to get into that. I mean, there's details, but that's kind of my short summary of it. The board rescinded the parole date in May due to the unmet contingency. I note that in July, so at the time of the previous report, you had talked about wanting to get into the EPIC program.
Yes,
We
sir.
got a notice that you were accepted into the Core 1 residential program at Valley Behavioral Health. It talks about the program. I'm familiar with the program, good program. That's where we stand today. So I think today, the purpose of today's hearing is to discuss what happened with the program and then your plans moving forward. So I guess this is what you started with. Did you try to get into the program, or?
Yeah, I got the EPIC acceptance.
No, so I'm talking about the contingency here at the facility. The board said they granted the parole contingent on the program.
I was just waiting for him to say, did you want to move over? But I guess with my STG status, it's harder for us to go over there because I guess there's people that got safety concerns on the gang or whatever.
So it was difficult to get you in, because my understanding is that the case manager just kind of didn't know. Is that the case? Did you talk to him? Did you talk to him at all, or?
No,
You just assumed because the contingency was put in that you'd be moved to that location, but that just never happened.
Yeah. So then when she said, well, I'm going to put you in for a special, and I was like, oh, well, all right. What about this? Because I've been trying to get into EPIC for a minute.
Okay.
And I finally got approved and all that. And I've just been all I need to do is they said as soon as you're released, you can come.
I think, yeah, because it said, the letter says you'll need transportation there, but. and
Yeah,
they
I can
provided
get a
that.
ride.
So, and I'll talk about that in just a second, if you don't mind, because I think the board may want to just have some information about what led to it. When you were in the county, I think in Kane County, you were in the program for about a month or two.
No,
It says you refused
yeah,
the
Kane.
program, or what happened there?
it's just, there's a lot of sex offenders down there, and as long story short, my sister-in-law got kind of molested, and so I don't do well around those guys. So I kind of just said, hey, I respectfully would, because I wasn't actually contingent on it then. I had seen the
Yeah,
board,
That's
and
that
I
was
just said,
before-
no, I'm all right with doing your program.
Okay. And
I'm
then
not, I'm
once-
really not trying to be a knucklehead, man. I'm
No,
trying.
no, and I'm not, the reason I'm asking, just because I do think it's important that we get on the same page and get
Yeah.
your comments. So thank you for being patient with me on that.
Oh, thank you for
Um,
taking the time.
I do note that you successfully completed impact of crime since your last hearing. And since you've been back to the facility, you also completed anger management, relationships, and MRT. What have you learned in those classes?
To be blatant and upfront with you, I learned that I'm pretty much not very smart in certain aspects, and I need to kind of pull my head out of somewhere that it shouldn't be. And I'm getting too old for this crap, and frankly, I'm pretty much sick of this stuff, man.
Okay. And that was kind of because, the core program, I mean, that's a good program, right? And it's an opportunity in the community. I looked at your history. There's been some, on the most recent paroles, one of them lasted a bit longer, but then there's been some struggles, absconded twice, and then kind of fell back into substance use. So if the board says, hey, let's allow Mr. Stevenson to go to the EPIC program,
I'm going.
what would be different so that you can follow through and be successful in that? Because really that's the goal, right?
To be honest with you, it's a want instead of I need to do this. It's something I want to do for myself. I'm 50. I'm going to be working the rest of my life. There ain't no retirement, and that's all due to my actions and the things that I didn't achieve that I could have easily achieved, but I didn't put the effort in to do it.
Okay.
And I'm really regretting it at this time. That
Yeah.
I think we all get to a point when we start getting older and older. This ain't for me no more.
Okay. Like, those are the specific questions I have for you. And just to explain it, so what the board will do, they'll take a look at the case, they'll consider, your acceptance into the program, they'll look at your case as a whole, look at the time that you've spent, and then make a decision on the appropriateness of a release, and then the contingencies, conditions, et cetera. I've put together a report. I'll include what we've talked about today, and then ultimately the board will decide on that. I think the main issue is remove the contingency, right, or not, and then also timing of what needs to happen. Granted, the contingency hasn't happened. That's kind of where my mind is, but it's ultimately I'll submit that hopefully by tomorrow. Takes a few weeks, a couple weeks for the board to make a decision. Sometimes it's a few days, sometimes it does take a few weeks as well. But want to give you the final word. Anything you'd like the board to know?
I really think prison's not for me. I've grown up a lot, and this time down, I really have. Because everything that I held dear, I lost, and I can't get that stuff back. I don't got parents no more, and lost my girl, all that. But you hear that every day. But it kind of hit me this time, man. So.
Well, thank you for your comments. I'll get that submitted tomorrow, and that's how we'll proceed with that. Thank you for being here and answering my questions. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll go ahead and conclude.
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
What do you think?
The factors they're going to look at, your expiration date is within 2 years, right? So, the EPIC program is a good program. I hesitate to give a direct answer because what I say, the board will make the decision. So I think it's best to just hold off, and we'll see what happens from there.
Okay,
But either way, good luck with that.
thank you.
Okay, and what do you think Utah decided? Well, I will tell you that Utah did decide to grant, but it's it was rescinded, and we are about to watch his next rescission hearing. Now, why it was rescinded is that he refused or failed to urinate when they came to do a narcotics test. Now, he's going to have a reason for that, and whether you want to take it for what it is or not, believe him, maybe the information that I'll share with you after his long record of substance abuse can help you come to that decision. But before I do the unpacking with that information, we are going to jump into this next rescission hearing. So again, to give you a reminder of the backdrop of this, right? He had an original hearing on August 20th, 2023, which we weren't recording Utah by then, so we don't have that hearing, but he was granted parole for June 8th of 2024. He then had that rescission hearing, which we just saw, which was August 28th, 2024. And then now we are coming here to have another rescission hearing. He was granted to be out January 7th, 2025, but it's now February 27th. So he should have been out. He should have been out in January, but now it's February 27th and he's having another rescission hearing. So let's watch it and I'll let you know what they decide and I'll give you all the details at the end.
This is the time and place set for a rescission hearing for Brent Stevenson, inmate 242 or 74229. Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Kathleen. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole. I'll be conducting your hearing today. Because I'll be taking testimony from you, I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me so I can place you under oath. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, did you receive 7 days notice of this hearing along with your blue packet?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a chance to review that?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions on it?
No, I don't.
Okay. So the reason we're here is because you received a disciplinary. You'd had a parole date for January 7th, 2025. Then that disciplinary came up for a UA that you had refused to do. Excuse me. And so the board rescinded that parole date. Tell me what happened.
I got a medical issue. I got the prescription here. I just couldn't pee and I knew I wouldn't be able to. And the very next day I asked if I could make it up or whatever. And they said, no, it's already done, but I don't have no dirties. I've never had a dirty. I wasn't trying to avoid it. I just couldn't pee. I'm
What's
51, you know?
what's the prescription?
It's a flow. Do you want, I brought the thing.
I can just note it. You're totally fine. I do show, and you probably talked about this at your last hearing about the fight back in, was it April?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
There was a fight and I pretty much stayed out of it, you know. But I was there, so.
Was it gang related fight? Do you know what it was from?
There was just an argument at the chow hall, and since I am gang related, you know, but I didn't touch the guy, didn't do nothing to him, you know. I pretty much just stayed out of it.
Tell me what your gang status is, sir.
SAC.
Are you active then?
Yeah.
How long have you been involved in the gang?
Over 20 years.
Okay. Is it something that's more while you're incarcerated? What does that look like out in the community?
I'm not out there gang banging or whatever, you know. I just am a gang member, you know.
Are you still associated with them? Like, do you still hang out with them out there? Like, how
Out on
big
the
of
streets.
how big of a part of your life are they when you're in the community?
I'm just trying to fade away, you know.
Okay. So are you just starting to now separate yourself?
Yeah, I'd rather do the working and doing the stuff that I need to do. That's what I've been working on. I've been working for the road crew for a minute now, and the DOT just offered me a job when I get released.
Okay.
And I'm trying to do the EPIC program. They got a bed waiting for me, and I'm just waiting to go there.
So is that what your plans are for if you are paroled to go to Epic?
Yes,
Is that residential?
yes. I would touch down at the halfway house and then they come pick you up.
Okay. So then basically, are you just kind of trying to retire from the gang?
Pretty much.
Are you in a position, will they allow you to do that, or will there be like
Yes,
consequences for that?
no, I've been around long enough and I've done everything that I had to do when I was younger. And they just, realize I'm older and I just want to have a life
Right,
instead of being the rest of it in here.
okay. Do you have any mental health diagnoses, sir?
I do not.
Okay. Is there anything that you feel like would prevent you from being able to complete a successful parole?
No, I'm pretty much know what I need to do and really want to do it. So that's why I've been doing the road crew and doing everything I possibly can to be good. And, I don't got no write-ups, nothing like that, And you guys obviously see something to give me the trust that I got to go outside the gates,
Right.
So
What usually brings you back here?
to be candid, me being a dumbass.
Okay. Okay. And so what do you feel like for you moving forward is going to help you so that you don't end up coming back here?
Focus and a need and a want to really do it.
Okay. What's out there on the outs for you as motivation to do better?
I got some positive family. I got a girl, and she's pretty much gave me the ultimatum, either do or don't.
Okay.
And I really want to do it for myself, actually, more than anything.
Have you ever had issues finding work?
No, I have not.
Is there anything else so you feel like the board needs to know or you would like them to know at this point?
And I'm really ready to do this. And
Okay.
I'm burned out on this whole experience. I gave enough of my life to the prison and the state. It's just not what I want anymore.
Okay. Well, sir, as you know, these are shortened hearings. This is just to basically discuss why your date was rescinded and brought back. We'll go ahead and affirm that rescission for January 7th, 2025. It's up to the board as far as what they're going to do with you. It usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks for them to get that decision out to you. They could parole you, they could keep you here longer. It's really up to them. Again, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for them to get that decision out to you. You do have a 5-year top. So regardless, as long as there's no other offenses in your future, that date is March 31st, 2026. You do have that 27-month guideline, which you have well surpassed about 1.5 years. And so do you have any other questions for me, sir?
No, I would like to hurry and get my stuff started with Epic. So, the job opportunity that they offered me is still there.
Okay. All right, sir. With that, we'll go ahead and conclude this hearing. Thank you. Good luck to you and have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, and they granted March 18th, 2025 is when he'll get out. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, it's March 12th, 2025, and we have no new updates on him. Holly checked today before I did this recording, so hopefully I'll actually make it out. And look, we'll go over again his history, but I do have to say he has no chomo, he has no DV, he has no, I think the one assault that he has, he does have one assault, but it's not like what it seems really his entire record is substance abuse. And do you want to believe him that it was the medication that he couldn't urinate or something else? Who really knows? I don't know enough about the prison system to know that maybe the medication was stopping him, but one would think that if you're clean and your parole is on the line, that you would throw such a hissy fit before you walked out of that room saying, no, I am urinating. I can't, but I am not leaving until I do. Okay, you can put me in the hole, but I am clean and I'm going to prove it. I'd rather have a write-up like that the parole board could look like, and he's been around long enough to know how you could play things, than to be like, no, I just refused. And I don't, and he would have known that they wouldn't have allowed him to do it again, because that's not how it works. By him saying, no, I can't do it, I can't do it. And then it's easier for him to go up to the parole board and say, I couldn't do it, and they didn't let me do it again. Right? You get what I'm saying? So you just have to look at patterns to, I think, know the truth. It's my opinion that he would have done a dirty, and he knew that his best option was to not have that dirty, and he knew that it'd be better to go up in front of the parole board, and they just don't care. And the problem is, I don't have animosity towards this guy. I mean, his ink would give me a lot of reasons to have animosity towards him. So for those reasons, I clearly, it's the white supremacist ink. I mean, I'm not an ink master, but pretty sure that's what it is. Now, I know enough from YouTube that in order to survive in prison, you kind of have to pick your race and you have to pick your gang. If either that, or you're doing time a different way, which he's not doing it. So who knows what his actual beliefs are? But anyways, neither here nor there. I don't think that's the point of this conversation. There were certain things about him in this hearing that I respected. If there's one takeaway that you can get, it was how he's quite articulate, right? And he used, I think, 3 different, maybe 4 different, I wrote down 3 different words for, instead of saying to be honest. So he said to be blatant, to be upfront, to be frank. And he did say to be honest once, but I thought in context, because he used the other versions so many times, maybe you can get away with it. But I had a mentor tell me many, many years ago, because I used to say, to be honest, and he said, Mandu, he didn't call me Mandu, but, you're saying that, and it's best not to say that, say to be frank. And I never thought about it. But once that was told to me, it made a lot of sense. It's a bad habit to say to be honest, because we should always be honest. To be frank, to be blunt, to be upfront, much better choices. And I realized that he said that, and he doesn't have the face tattoos. There could be a couple reasons. They say that the gangs face tattoos as a mark of seniority, and from what we saw in 2021, he had no ink. So maybe he is new to the gang life. I don't know, and it takes a while to earn that. Or maybe he's just a little bit smarter at his age. I mean, he started late. He started super late. And again, we'll go over his record. But again, to think about that, this arrest record is from 2021. He does not have one tattoo. Then 4 years later, he's got the whole gang thing and something else. He looks angry in his arrest photos, and he looks angry even at his parole hearing. I think he just has that look, which probably wouldn't help him at a routine traffic stop. But let's go over it. And again, thank you, Lady Holly, for putting this all together so beautifully, and using Sir Richard's spreadsheet to tie both hearings together. So, all right, it jumps a little bit all over, but you'll get the picture. 12/20/2005, he has an original parole hearing. He's granted 2007. And I guess it looks like he's revoked. But let's just look at his different stuff. Possession of controlled substance, forgery, theft by receiving stolen property. This is straight up narcotic stuff, right? Low-level narcotic addiction stuff. 7/12/2007, issue warrant. 10/26/2007, parole revocation. 2/1/2008. So this is a little bit. Let's go through here. Let's see what Holly writes here. He was added again, lol. This time they added successfully complete the intervention for violators class, region 2, DRC, and abide by curfew as directed. Unfortunately, they didn't tell us what he did wrong either time, so likely technical, and assuming the second part added, he broke curfew, lol. 12, I hate when that pop-up comes. 12/19/2009, he is added again, this time to add complete the moral recognition treatment class. Moral recognition. I like these program names. 3/5/2009, and again, this time they add to serve 30 to 60 days in Weber County Jail until bed space becomes available. There we have it. You know, again, proof that they don't have beds, or to complete the Odyssey House substance abuse program. I'm guessing he showed up positive. So this is again 10/28/2009 warrant issued. 3/16/2010 a new charge shows up, but it's EOS of 2014, so not sure what's going on there. That's probably because he was revoked. Well, that would be my guess. Oh no, EOS of 2014. I don't know. Yeah, I'm guessing he was revoked. Possession of controlled substance. They also decided, no idea why, to terminate all of his sentences. So basically, he's out free as a bird, no parole, and he obviously picked up new charges in 2013. So he got a chance in 2010. They were like, you know what, just get out of here. They probably, what happened is they're like, you're just so bad at parole, we want you out of our hair. So they just terminated, and he lasted, I guess, 3 years. Because 9/6/2013, he has an original hearing. So not even 3 years. He lost less than that. So now he only has attempted theft by receiving stolen property, 0 to 5 years, and possession use of controlled substance, 0 to 5. They granted him 6/10/2014. So he served like 1 year for that. Then I love Holly's Australian, and she's got the dry British, Australian humor, and you can see it come through here. 7/28/2014 warrant issued. Laugh out loud. The guy really can't help himself. 8/13/2014 they cancel the warrant and add the following parole violations, and that's often what they happen. They do parole violations instead of giving new charges, right? So they don't need to go through the court process. 42 treatment center, no change in prior parole condition. It's like, let's send you to 120-day substance abuse program. It's going to solve everything. And apparently, the moment he finished, because it's 3 months later, either that or he skipped out on the program, they issue another warrant, 11/24/2014. And we're just going through the life of him literally being in and out of prison. But again, he's not a chomo. He's not doing DV. At least it's not coming up on his record. So I don't have animosity for the man. I really don't. 3/11/2015, parole was revoked as they decided to terminate his service. 8/4/2015, so basically he gets 6 months sanction. And he gets terminated 3 years earlier than he was meant to. So they terminated him, which is a good thing in parole world. It means you're done. They're like, you're out of the system. You're free to go. You're free as a bird. But he's back on 2 new charges: receiving or transfer of a stolen vehicle, and aggravated assault. So here's his first bad one. And I don't know if that is the police where they say he assaulted a police officer. I'm guessing that is. Remember that newsreel we saw? 7/20/2023, in his original hearing for these charges, we don't have video. This one is really parole. Then he has a rescission hearing. So this is what we just saw, right? 8/26/24, 2/27/25. He's granted March 18, 2025. At the time of this recording, that's in 6 days. And yeah, his original arrest age is 39. He's now 51. That's strange that his original arrest, what happened? Is it that maybe he moved to Utah? I don't know. That's a late age to start. I would love to hear the backstory for that. And you can just see it. Who starts at 39, right? Something's not adding up. Possession of paraphernalia, no passing no passing, really. No proof of insurance, no driver license obtained. Criminal trespassing, failure to appear, interference with the arresting officer, possession of paraphernalia. Parole violation, controlled substance, Schedule 1 or 2, possession of a dangerous weapon. I guess that could be a knife, knuckles, whatever. Then he has 2020 controlled substance, 2021 evade or not responding, failure to stop to command, 6/30/2021 receiving the vehicle and aggravated assault, 8/20/2021. Look, this is 2 months later. Like, he bonds out, possession of the devil's lettuce, possession of a controlled substance. I don't know if this is redundant or if it's 2 things. He was in possession of maybe, something stronger. and there's a news video, and you can see the beautiful work Lady Holly does, and Sir Richard connecting the dots on the hearing with his spreadsheet. It's a teamwork. It's a team effort. But I have a feeling we're gonna see him again. I hope not. I hope he's aged out, you know? But the problem is, and I think we can clearly see this, and we learned this from really the Louisiana hearings is where it's like I don't get the vibe that his addiction issues is solved. I actually think he was gonna give a dirty sample, and that means he's gonna get out. He's gonna pick up where he left off, and he's gonna be back here. And that's just sad. I don't know what the answer is. Clearly, these 3-month programs don't do anything. Clearly, the prison is not doing anything. He needs to just I don't know. He needs to figure out what it is that's making him do that. It's something deeper. It's not easy. And with that, I'll let you go.
There ain't no retirement, and that's all due to my actions and the things that I didn't achieve that I could have easily achieved, but I didn't put the effort in to do it.
Okay.
And I'm really regretting it at this time. That
Yeah.
I think we all get to a point when we start getting older and older. This ain't for me no more.
Right.
So
What usually brings you back here?
to be candid, me being a dumbass,
Okay. Okay.
that I'm really ready to do this, and I'm burned out on this whole experience. I gave enough of my life to the prison and the state. It's just not what I want anymore.